Peace and blessings, family. I'm going to have to get used to having a new setup. Dr. She put this camera together, so I don't want to, helpful advice if you happen to desire having a channel. It's more relatable if you're looking at the lens, even though when you look at the lens, you're not looking at all the other stuff that's happening. So sometimes I'll look away because I want to share data with anybody who happens to join in. And let me just check, make sure that I can be heard and all the rest of that good stuff there. I also don't want to stay on the StreamYard page because I made that mistake last time. And a troll came on through, and you guys were great. You got rid of the troll real quick. But on StreamYard, you could still see they're really just meant as a giant distraction comments. And so I'm not sharing the screen yet. I'm just heading over to where I need to so I can have this conversation about who the last word award goes to and who's the real ghetto fabulous Hoodrat. Okay. Let me enter that. Okay, I can hear myself. That's really good. That's a wonderful thing. And let me hit like because I'm always amazed that I do this. I am genuinely a shy person. I'm really happy. Oops, seems to have frozen up. I don't know why. Let's try doing that again. And see if it's unfrozen. Okay, it's unfrozen. There we go. I don't know why that was that way, but it's back. That's good. I found the story with, let me share my screen now. And anybody, I didn't announce this at all. I knew I have so much information and everything connects together that I had to do a live. There was no way that I could just, put it together in a manner that would make sense. You're going to hear noise in the background because Dr. She is walking about and I live in a house, even though I don't do as many videos as I once did years and years back. So let me go on back on over to StreamYard and share my right. There we go. Spin a little bit. And do I need to? I don't know. Let's see now. Select window, entire screen, and allow. Yeah. All right, that's good. Let's go right on over so I could do the particulars of the story. I'm sure that most of you have heard this, where Marjorie Taylor Greene was being very Karen, very catty. And she said to to Jasmine Crockett that most likely she couldn't read what was in front of her through her fake eyelashes. And when I heard that, I was just sort of like, so what, are we supposed to be defending fake eyelashes as pro-Black? And I realized that the satanic elites, they're the ones who created the KKK with, what was his name? Not Aleister Crowley, not Crowley, but the other one who was here in the Unentitled Snakes of America. I can't remember his name, but he said that we'll control the people by picking their leaders for them. And I always have his name right there, and I can't remember it right now. But he, with some other colleagues of his, created the KKK because these elites are experts. They literally teach themselves how to be experts at crowd control, at the herding of the human population. And they've been doing it for centuries. There's no way that you can decimate, to exterminate an entire race of people or a nation of people, and you're not an expert at causing uh, chaos and distractions and subterfuge, such as, what was it? Oh, I can't remember his name either. These are subject matters I haven't talked about in a while, but the dude who went to Africa in order to get slaves, what they called slaves. We fought a whole lot more back then than we do now. But he went to Africa and he figured the way to do that was to give guns, ammunition to one tribe and tell them, oh, those guys down there, they want to come for you. And then he'd go to the tribe that didn't have the guns and he would say, well, you know, they got a lot of guns and they are coming for you, but I need you to pay for these guns. I can't just give them to you. Come on, I got to make, money here. And so they would say, well, we have grain, we have this. And he would say, no, that's not enough. I need people. And so he'd give them the guns and say, if you capture, prisoners, then you give me them and that'll pay for the guns. And this is the way that the slave trade was entered into. That's one of the reasons for me personally, even though I do look at the different African tribes and I recognize they didn't wage any. Once we were captured on a war setting and they didn't wage an orchestrated campaign to free us, though it was a tenable type of situation, because I'm sure some of those were captured by those who would just hunt out in the open territories and would take their sons or their daughters, and they didn't want that. My understanding at this point is that we were the most disliked as the Israel tribe, and thereby they would hunt us specifically. These things I haven't had verified yet. I'm just going by the amazing knowledge that Sister Lashid for You has passed on. And then also Dr. She has informed me that plenty of us were already here and they just managed to hide it in various methods. So this is our land too. However, I'm just saying that these elites, this is what they do. They set up fights. I remember reading in Man-Child in the Promised Land. No, it wasn't that one. It was Native Son, where they would set up different black men, one against the other, especially in a work setting, in order to, he said this about your wife, and he said this about your manhood, or whatever the heck, in order to stoke a confrontation. They absolutely love to see us fight. And now you see it in their entertainment offerings, where they've gotten to the point where they love to see, they'll set it up where a black woman will be in a fight against a black man. That's their favorite thing right now to do. They control the media, and that's what all of this is about, this whole live and going over the different documents that I've collected and headlines. And so causing friction is one of the tactics that they've honed, because they never stop fighting in Europe. I remember I said this to somebody who I will not mention their name, but they're famous amongst us. And it was very disappointing to me, because I put it to the person. I don't even want to say which sex they were, because that might give it away. But I found out disturbing information, such as they worked in an MK Ultra hospital. That was like, what? But it made sense, because once they were doing an interview, and I did call in, shy as I am, I called in and I asked them. Well, what about the fact that they're barbaric to each other? Wouldn't that signal that that's their nature and it's beyond their hatred of us? I think when it's their hatred of us, that's just like, pooh, that's to the core, that's inside them. Even if they try to explain to themselves individually, the liberals, oh, but they're real people, they still have a just automatic discomfort with the ones who know that they are supposed to hate us according to their mindset. They're not supposed to, but that's just what they do. They fall into their nature. For them, they're repulsed by us. And I imagine it's to the same level that one would be repulsed by being covered by little bugs and critters, that if you're human, if you're still sane, you find really awful. I'm not saying that they are. They're a different, in my conclusion, and I don't mean this as let's run out and start harming them, because that would suit their purposes and their long-term strategies. We have to use our minds. That is our most significant wealth, is our melanated, our black minds, okay? And so in that score, I look at them as a predator mimic species, where they will, because in their movies, they would, for the longest time, they've started to stop now, but they would present humanity, compassion, all the good things that in their Bible that they wrote. They didn't understand it enough, so they didn't, they couldn't like twist it to the way that they wish it were twisted right now. But at the same time, in their entertainment, they used to promote more virtuous behavior. And they've been working on it. We always like to think that we're the worst people on the planet, but they've been working through Hella Weird. I can't say who predominantly runs Hella Weird, all right? I could only say that sentence right there, and then you know what I'm talking about, all right? But those are the folks who control the programming that gets sent to us, so that slowly but surely, they're the ones who introduced the bikini, not us. Right. And it was white women, rich white women at that. And that's where they'll often start these things. Like now they got them wearing bikinis as if it's full Coco Chanel suits. Right. And they had to tamper that down a little bit. I noticed recently they're not having as many of the Bianca Censori type of things. And I think that's because if you put logic out, it's irrefutable. And so to be the emperor's new clothes where you're walking around naked, this is just what they've always done with Jean, I don't know if it was Harlow, I'll just say Harlow. And all of those early actresses who, Mae West, who was actually depicting you can't say, and I'm not saying this, but fourth generation biracial. By then, it's not a biracial. It's something else that understandably they don't like to be called that, because a lot of them just want to be known as white. But there was a madam in New Orleans back in the day when prostitution was perfectly legal. And she was, just harken back, she was part of that the same thing that Beyonce's part of, society. And that's who Mae West was imitating when she was like, come up and see me sometime, and all the rest of it, in case anybody has ever watched any Mae West movies. But back then they were slowly infesting the population. So, it was a time when you couldn't even use the word pregnant. It was just too risque. And I think it was on a All in the Family show where they finally just broke the barrier. They love to say that. And they started saying the word pregnant. Now, because I grew up in that time, I don't really find anything wrong with the word pregnant. But now they're just pushing a whole slew of nonsense. And so with this, where Marjorie Taylor Greene, who for some reason, I don't study these congressional people, but with Marjorie Taylor Greene, I get that repulsion feeling. And so I find it interesting that AOC started this out. Can't stand AOC. Oh my God, what an act! Now she is an actress, and I think that she was probably picked because she was for them an attractive actress. And so, as she pointed out, that Marjorie Taylor Greene's comment was disagreeable. So I'm not accusing her necessarily of anything, but she's on the script as far as I can tell, especially when she was going down to like all the migrants, immigrants who were housed in those facilities, and she was pretending as if she was, oh, she's crying, she's crying. And then when they showed the real picture, it was just a giant empty parking lot. I was like, but I knew she was full of crap from the outset. I suspected her from the beginning. She's supposed to be like, oh my goodness, don't let me forget that beautiful sister's name who was a congressman, Shirley Chisholm. She's meant to be like Shirley Chisholm, and also Ilhan Omar. Also, they pick them because right now they're in desperate straits. As a matter of fact, let me go on over to King Charles's really demonic looking photo. These people, they're spooky because they're scared. They're scared. They don't know how to survive life unless they can have a situation where they can appease their fragility. And so this horrifying painting right here with the endangered monarch butterfly, all that the monarch of the realm represents is he is going to protect whiteism. That's what all the royal families everywhere, the white ones in Europe, represent, is the protection of whiteism. And so for them to put this little butterfly up in here that's supposed to be all endangered, and that's their confession that they're feeling endangered. They're freaking the hell out. And so they are overtime. Oh my goodness. I've read so many different articles about how many operatives they have out there, how many trained Satanists and all the rest of it. And it is their military, in my estimation, is completely useless to them in the face of probably like the millions of operatives they have working all over the planet, to perpetuate the lunacy that they are the most, you can close that, son. They are the most amazing people on the planet. And that's actually not what is inspiring or keeping so many people in utter deference to them. It's actually utter fear of them. But here's the beautiful thing about Allah's truth is they're even losing their own people's fidelity and loyalty, because you have to bring the truth. You cannot be outwardly the obvious liar, and you're going to gain the mindless loyalty of the masses. And I'm sure you've noticed that right now, even white people have to talk against their governments. They have to mention the fact that, oh, these elites, what's wrong with them? They're trying to take over. But some of them themselves are operatives, and so they're lying about all of that. But there's a lot of common white people who really are utterly clueless. They don't know anything about Fukushima. They don't know anything about vaccines. They don't know anything about even the food that they're eating. They'll just consume. They're consumers. They're landed their livestock, basically. Unfortunately, I don't think of anybody like that. I know that peace is possible universally, but because of their repulsion, which is automatic towards us, their terror of us, that seems like a ludicrous proposal to them over embracing lying, embracing being evil, embracing just using that last bit of whiteism that they have, where it is the smoke and mirrors of their superiority, when everyone sort of knows, everyone's learning, they're not superior anymore. That is why they are doing their darndest to protect it. And that's why we got this monstrosity of a painting, which I know they're trying to compare it to Han Solo being frozen in one of the Star Wars movies, but it looks like the portrait of Dorian Gray. And the red screams what they feel they must do, because the march of tyranny, the censorship is off the charts, and they're trying to justify every single evil maneuver they can. Canada is a mess, where they're like euthanizing people just over them being impoverished. What? Just because they're depressed. That's not what you tell people who need a hand, who need to know there's hope in this life. You don't, oh yeah, no, you're right. Just give up. No, right? Even the white ones, who I think for them, they can have real like psychopaths. I would hazard a guess that there's an abundance of them, because soul-wise, they're closer to the nothingness. That's what, when you look historically, you could see, like, who would go to a whole nother country and enslave their people and feel like it's the right thing to do so you could get some stuff? I mean, like, whoa, boom, no, hell no. Dr. Shi, if he came up to me, as much as I love that man, with some cockamamie idea like that, I'd be like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here. Right? And so, going back to, I always do this. Let me read a little bit here on the Satanic Daily Mail. Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett doubled down that, this was the one. I really love Jasmine Crockett's response to her. That was phenomenal. And that's what prompted me to say, let me come on in here and say something, because her response, I know, is not going to get the full blast that it should. Now, let's see now. That's what here Green said. I think your fake eyelashes are messing up what you're reading. And Marjorie said, Jasmine said in response, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, if that would be against the rules, because she was asking the person who was chairing the meeting why they were allowing Green to get away with this. And it seems that this is something that Marjorie does an awful lot of. I suppose that's why when I hear her name, I just automatically feel my own repulsion towards her. I don't know, because there's people I just don't feel. I got so much to investigate and study that I do not want to waste a moment of my beautiful life on you. Okay. And so what I first assumed about, let me get and if there's anybody commenting, let me come on over and get what you might be saying. Oh, you wonderful, wonderful people. I love to see you. Let me pop this. Wait, no, that's not what I want. I want to pop out the chat. There we go. Okay. And oh my goodness, my king. Oh, sorry, Dr. She. That's the professional thing to say, because he is a doctor. That's just, I concede that. I'm the first one. If I think somebody ain't what they're saying they are, I'm going to tell you. All right. So that brother, that's a doctor. He will heal your ailments 100%. And so, Brother Daryl, I feel, Brother DA, son, This is so good to see you. And PD, that remains Grand Rising, my brother. And oh, thank you very much, Dr. She. And dear sister Gwen B. Yeah. And let's see what you're saying, PD. That killer part, she was asking for clarity. She didn't outright call her that. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what you mean, brother, but I'm okay. So let me keep going because I got so much to share. Let's see, where was I? Oh, I'm up over here. I had that like that. And let me do that and that. Wait a minute. Where'd I go? Oh, okay. No. I'm still sharing the screen. I'm not doing that. Okay, so let me expand this a little bit. And, this is the reason why we are separate nations, because Marjorie is never going to feel empathy for Sister Jasmine and Black people who have we've been traumatized on an epic scale. That's why for me, I'm so grateful that Dr. She gave me this camera so that I could be on camera and in a better lighting. Because I just want to emphasize, not me, I wish all of us sisters could be here and we could just show you how beautiful natural sisters are, because Marjorie really loves Jasmine and her eyelashes and the lace front wig. She loves it because it assists her predator mimic weak nature that needs to have something to attack Black women over, something. And especially right now, I have painstakingly, to the best of my ability, pointed out that there is a setup being conducted on Black women. Same as, and I'm getting my strength from you brothers, okay? Because the setup on you happened decades ago. Well, actually forever, but with hip hop, they really did their best to defame you, malign you with the notion that you were born to be a criminal. You were born to be a thug. You were born to just have no control. They were basically bringing the movie Birth of a Nation to life in you by making it seem as if it was cool. It was cool to be lawless. And it was a lie. And so what I mean is I'm taking my points from you because there's so many brothers I've known all my life who were just like, when I saw them trying to showcase you as thugs, I was like, who are you talking about? You ain't talking about the Black men I know. You ain't talking about ones I meet every single day who are amazing, And when I met Dr. She, he introduced me to even more amazing ones. Before, all I knew were lots of Negro-peans, good Negro-peans. That's why I say I don't hate Negro-peans, because you could have ones who love being Black. It's just that they're so traumatized by these pink folks that their definition of being Black is based on getting the approval of the pink folks, believing everything the pink folks say. So you do no further research. And when you hear the facts coming from the research, because it's not coming with pink folk approval, you dismiss it automatically. Or it's just too destabilizing for you. It's terrifying for you. Because surely they're human, and I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying they're a different kind. And that doesn't mean hurt them, right? I'm doing a clinical analysis based on our clinics, not theirs, right? So when I met so many men all my life, Black men who've just been absolutely astounding, that stereotype didn't hold water. So for me, this new stereotype of this, Black woman who wants to abort her Black male fetuses, right? That one they got started on purpose too, I'm quite sure. Okay, with Cynthia G. because we heard rumors of that all the way back to Brooklyn Blue and Crystalline Karazin. I don't know who these people are now, I don't know where they're going. I pay them no attention. I moved on. But way back, years and years back, you know, you should just support your black male babies. What? What? You are. Where is he? Right there. This is you. This is you right over here. Come on over, you little endangered monarchs. Save us. Okay? And so I am not falling for, where are they? What's that photo of them? I can't remember where I put it. Is that it? Yep, that's it. All right. I know that Marjorie is never going to be able to have any empathy, any understanding, so that she would feel the way you've seen the white people with their junkies, with their junk. Oh my God. Do I have that? Right there. Okay. Their drug overdose rates are decreasing. And that's a good thing. That's a really wonderful. I don't want anybody to be harmed. I don't want anybody to be addicted to narcotics. That's a horrible existence. But at the same time, when they came in and attacked the Black community with the drugs, using their operatives to make it seem like it was cool, you know, they had the jazz musicians and all the jazz. Almost didn't see a Black jazz band that didn't have a white trumpet player or something in the background. And then they went in, they made it seem like it was all cool to get high. Right? So they portrayed us as, oh, look, that was actually before the hip hop. Oh, look at all these drug addict Black folks. And in the South, they used to use that to lock us up and put us into forced slave labor. Right? That was another way to keep our population numbers down, by making sure there was a huge proportion of Black men and a few Black women who were incapable of building solid, functional families. And they derided us. Even, was it 60 Minutes and all the rest of it, when they would do documentaries about crack in the Black neighborhood, they made us look like we were vile. I remember hearing a rap song where it was like, your mother is a crackhead. And there was no warmth, no sympathy in that rap whatsoever for someone who was in an addicted state, and they're making fun of her child. Wow. Wow. So I lost my brother to that wave. And that's why it's very dear to me, because my brother was an amazing person. If you think I'm smart, he was just like one of the reasons why I am. That's the way our whole family's always been. We would just be up in there analyzing this and analyzing, oh, but what about this? But we were doing it as Negro peons. So it was useless. Unless you're willing to hear all the information and the truth, and you are willing to research it for yourself, unless you understand that it is Black versus white, everything is going to confuse you. Everything. Okay? So for me, it's it's really personal. And I did a video up on YouTube that they took down immediately. Right? My language is caring, always has been. But I cried for the loss of my brother. I even think about the fact that my own son will never get the chance to meet someone who I just was one of those Black men, even as my brother was the, storyline of the crackhead and he's stealing this and doing that. I knew he was a human being. I knew he had a story that was in depth and full of life, full of good stuff. He's the one who showed me the amazing compassion of the Black man, right? And so I'm not mad at white people for saving their own addicts. I'm just saying, when this is a side thing, but it's also part of it. When you see the numbers of dying people rising and they want to blame the jab, when I did a meme today with all the seals, the sea lions who were dying, first off, this easy. They didn't get the jab, okay? All the creatures, the 9 billion missing crabs, they didn't get a jab, okay? I'm just saying what it is that they hide completely, and instead they instigate crap. Let's see, where is it? There you go, ladies. And one like a lady, but not quite at all, because I want to know, will the real Hoodrat please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up. Hey? Because they always make it seem like it's you and me, sister. It's you and me. We're the worst women on the planet. Here's another thing. I was like, you, what? I'll go and I'll read a lot of posts that Henry Macau puts out on his website, not on X. I don't go on X too much. I'm not unrecommending it, but I'm just saying I don't go there. But I know he just another white man. Okay, he just another one. They all get on code. And so here he's saying, why is it black men with white women in every one of these ads? Who owns these damn companies? Us? Who owns the media? Us? Hey, most black men are with black women. So stop. But he wouldn't stop, right? Why not black women with white men? Are black women so awful? They show black women with white men on a constant basis. Also owned by them, selectively used to indoctrinate us to find black on black love just weird. It can't happen. In the face of all of this attack and assault, it can turn all of us a little bit weak. And so going back to Sister Jasmine, I love what she said, but I know she's been traumatized. Not that that makes what Marjorie said right. Hell no, she is a racist. She is. Because she is a system, not just an individual white person. She's part of a system that will never acknowledge the trauma it causes and continues to cause on a constant damn basis. Okay? So that now they're trying to traumatize us all over again so that fake eyelashes are pro-black. Get the hell out of here. Being traumatized is pro-black. Hell no. Being proud of what the Most High made you to be, what you were born to be. There's no greater freedom than to just be able to walk out the door and you don't give a damn who looks at you sideways. Hopefully, you got yourself put together a little bit well, because we are interrelated. We do what I do, it impacts you. What you do, it impacts me. So you put yourself together well. But you walk out and you say, see it and weep, white woman. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm not telling them that they have to weep, but it seems they do. Because how long until Marjorie goes and gets her face clipped, gets her face Chinese foot bound? Because she can't stand them wrinkles showing up at 35. I'm sure she got them already. That doesn't happen to us. I'm going to be 61 in July. And I'm proud of it. Because the Most High blessed us with that melanin that they keep trying to talk us out of, just loving it full force. And that reminds me of all these congressional black folks and, county legislators. They are not worth a hill of beans because they're Negropean. I'm not mad at them. But I know better than to expect any rescue from them. Right? They are Negropeans who have swallowed the indoctrination full force. So that why in the world with this, you can look at Sister Jasmine's face and see she's a beautiful woman. Why in the world would she need this to this hair? Limp, does nothing to just accentuate who she is. She would look far better with her own natural hair and whatever style she wanted to do, because her hair defies limitations. This crap, you only wear it hanging down pretty much, right? With the lace front. And that's another thing. The weaves, everybody sort of knew that it was a little bit too fake, so you would see the line on up in there. And so they know it's fake. They came out with something that was supposed to look like it was more real, but we still know it's fake. Where they have the lace front and they have a little, part in the side that's supposed to be the color of your skin because it's supposed to be your skin, but we all know it's not your skin. It's the cap of the wig. And you just brushed it away. So it looks like it's yours and it's not. What kind of madness is that? That's all I'm here to do. This is my sister. She came back at her. Did I quote what she said? I hope I did, but maybe I didn't. Oh, I did quote it. Okay. That was badass. That was badass what she said right there. And she could have kept going. I did go a little bit over, the impending facelift. The Brazilian butt lift. Now that she's gonna come back next year and she's gonna have ribs removed and she's gonna have a big BBL hanging out there, which they had to call it Brazilian because they didn't want to admit that it's actually a black woman booty. They didn't want to admit that. They're the ones with the emotional issues. We just gotta love ourselves. Okay? For them, it's hard to love yourself if you're not lovable. If you're gonna be, where is he? Where are you? There you go, Charles. If you're going to be this, that's not lovable. Ain't nothing in here about love. It's about revenge and holding on for dear life. Revenge for just being shown to be liars. I ain't going to say nothing about the 11 missing Canadian children that nobody ever saw again because he didn't do that. All right. Let's see. I want to make sure I got everything in here because there was different things that. Oh, I remember. Let's see. Right here. Okay. I don't know what is going to come up here, but I just want to show you. We got nothing to be embarrassed about, even when it comes to them fake eyelashes. Even though I do want to mention the glue. It's going straight into your cranium, straight into your brain. That's if you glue them on. Some sisters, and it's not just sisters wearing fake eyelashes, so just stop, okay? Plenty of white women out there, and I need to always emphasize that. White women are more phony than we will ever be. They're actually trying to act like they're having a natural movement by having, like, was it Pam, whatever her name is, who was on Baywatch, show up with her. Good for her. She hasn't gotten plastic surgery. I support that when white women do that. But there's a reason why they have a very short time frame so that as soon as a white woman sort of reaches 45, they just ignore her. They ignore her. That's not our problem. So that's not my issue. I'm just saying, I'm not mad at you, but I notice, like, ooh, you need makeup. And they notice too. But we don't. We don't. Right? We look gorgeous even without it. And when I go out amongst my community, I do not even see Sister Jasmine's walking around. I see the fake hair mostly, but a huge portion, especially among the students, the young little Black students, they're wearing their own natural hair because it's easier to take care of. I'm just saying, it is. I know. I've lived your life. Okay? I've done the creamy crack. I've done the weave. I never did the lace front, but I know looking at the way you got to, oh my goodness, work that sucker in so that it'll look like it's actually yours. And then you got some who do them baby doll things on the side. I'm not being mean. I'm trying to highlight. You've been traumatized. I know Black women who wear fake hair believe they are not imitating white women, but the hair has gotten flatter and flatter and flatter year by year. Who are you imitating then? What they are trying to achieve is a look of money that they've arrived because as a group of people, as a demographic, we sisters feel so ignored. We feel so abandoned. And that's for real. I ain't making fun of that. I'm just saying, you can't go to the Most High with that. You can't say I was waiting for my neighbor to do right before I did right. You got to love what the Creator made you to be. Right? It was it Octavia. I don't know if it's no, it's not Octavia Butler, but there's another one, Olivia. That's the Black actress. She played God. And I was just like, so God is going to wear a weave? Because in the movie, she was wearing a weave or had a lace front, whatever the heck. I was like, get the heck out of here. Right? That's how indoctrinated we are, how traumatized we are. If you, God forbid, live your life and never challenge yourself to go natural, just for like, I don't know, a year even. Right? You see these people with these challenges, the ice bucket challenge, the natural challenge. Go natural, sister. For a year. Try different styles, different methods of grooming your hair. Discover all those gravity defying feats. You got Simone Biles up on there. Every day of your life, please do not go in and out of this life without discovering the beauty of you. Don't. Where are the ugly wafting clouds? I'm not talking about on a thunderstorm day because then the whole sky is just gray. I'm talking about them cute little fluffy clouds that have come down to be heaven on your scalp so that the Most High can rest 24/7, 365 forever. Okay? There's nothing that I got from my magnificent Black father who kept it together well enough to give me a sense of what mattered in life, despite being traumatized himself. There's nothing that I reject from him now that I know its value. Right? So let's show our brothers, and most importantly, let's show ourselves that we would never do this. Let me get on over to these all these pictures here. I don't have them lined up in any particular way, but this was posted. I don't know even when it was posted, but years and years back. 9,200 dead Alaskan birds. Was it the jab? No. Did we do that? No, this was something else. So this was when all the hysteria got started. It was ridiculous. And Atlanta Black Star. When they're recommending sea moss smoothies? Sea moss. I've got the graph. I won't show it this one, but where it absorbs thousands and thousands of greater volume of radiation in its flesh than you'll find in the surrounding seawater. And here they're doing this whole gigantic push on us. Now that, I don't know, there's people out there talking. I know my numbers look low, but you are going higher. And so you're sharing my warnings. Even you don't have to share nothing about me. I ain't going to be insulted. Okay? Nobody has to know me at all. I prefer it that way. I could walk out the door and nobody bothers me. right? But I'm saying they have Raymond Levine. Also, he calls himself Rachel, but the facts defy his insanity. Right? Kudos to Peru for coming out saying that it's a mental illness, because that's what it is. Okay, all that I'm the opposite sex. But Raymond has been coming out saying, oh, we need to go into the Black community because suddenly they're intrigued by the environment. Right? There may be a lot of Black people who are saying, no, that's okay. I don't eat sea moss anymore. Right? They're not going to say why or anything, and that's probably best. But Raymond is saying they got to fund. That means they got to pay their spies to speak specifically against the truth about Fukushima. They're going to just promote climate change. I'm sure they're already out there in the cafes and all the rest of it trying, oh no, it's just the climate change. Peace out. Right? So the truth is the weapon that the Most High specifically said he gave us. Just speak it, share it. It will freak. Where'd he go? Charles, where are you? Come on, Charles, in charge of our horror. But not if you stop being horrified, okay? This is what these guys are praying will continue no matter what. And I said they're going to get crazier and crazier. They're not through yet, okay? That's why the more truth we get out, the safer we all are. Okay. And so going on, this one, the Japan Times. Let's see. How do I? Oh, there we go. Like that. There we go. Researchers find high cesium in some phytopacific plankton. It's in everything. I talked about the glowing zooplankton. That's what it was. In the Pacific, it's the radiation. Because the phytoplankton, that's the good stuff. That keeps the oxygen circulating because it's plants. Okay. And when they say they found it in some Pacific plankton, they're using that language. They only tested some Pacific plankton, and they found it in all of it. They found it in all of it, everything they tested. But then they'll say, well, we only found it in some plankton because, we didn't test everything. Okay? These people are just like, damn. Yeah, it's just that. It's just that. Like I said, I don't have it. Oh my goodness. This was where a mother was, let's see now. She's broke out with these fine bumps about, yeah, I think that, I don't know what the heck this is. Okay. Because I don't want to say what it is, and it's not that specifically. These were old. Oh, this one right here. Public health statistics indicated that there was an upward deviation from the steady downward trend of about 4% per year for U.S. as a whole, which ended in the late 1960s after the end of atmospheric tests by the U.S., the Soviet Union, and Great Britain. So everything went down right after the radiation. That's what I need to just highlight. The pollution is ubiquitous, and it's been here a long time. Generalized pollution. Plastic's been around for a damn long time. They used to call it Bakelite. Right? The radiation, the trajectory of the contamination and the effects of that has a specific line that these guys have studied. The pet cow effect was written by Ralph Graub, right? The introduction was by Ernst Sternglass. But I've read so many of these books, and this is about as exciting as it gets. But I am so hungry for the truth that for me, this is like, whoa, fine dining in a 10-star restaurant. Okay, so let me continue. Furthermore, this abnormal increase was very closely correlated with state-by-state data on the concentration of strontium-90 in the milk during the preceding 3 to 4 years for all socioeconomic groups. However, excuse my bad typing here, poorer non-white infants showed about twice the mortality rate than the white population with, and here he attributes it, this is a bunch of BS right here, to his better diet, prenatal care, and access to medical treatment. These things are true, but more importantly is this, what Dr. Sternglass wrote. They specifically shipped the radiation to blackout. So of course, we show the effects of it more. I have highlighted how our babies have the highest mortality rate and low birth weight rate of all demographics of people. How the hell is that possible? How the hell is that possible? Have you seen our athletes? Right? But somehow or another, our babies are just born weak as heck. No, that's a lie. That's because they directly ship the radiation to us, as they're doing now with the canned salmon. Since there's probably lots of people saying, no, that's okay. No sea moss for me. Oh, look, it's Raymond Levine. I mean, whatever he calls himself this week. Okay? Come and explain climate change. Maybe I will eat the sea moss. And a free can of salmon for me too? Oh, Rachel, you're just so sweet. I might start thinking you really are a woman. Okay? And so you got the canned salmon when I listed how few salmon were being caught wild. And even the farm salmon right now, their numbers are dropping by 11% less this year than last year. That's quite the drop in a controlled environment. That's because the salmon and the coho, there's two different ones that I forget which ones the other ones are. Rainbow. No, that's a trout. I'm learning as I go along. But I also know the coho, their numbers are going down drastically too. How you gonna give away, they're giving free salmon to women and dependent children who are signed up for the welfare program. And if they did this with the milk, you think they're not going to do that with that canned salmon where the prices are going through the roof? But oh no, let's get that salmon to them poor children. Woo! Okay, right? And so this is a serious channel. We're not supposed to just look at genocide and yawn. So I read these books because I have to, because I'm the only one doing it in the Black community to the level it needs to be done, so that I would come across the story about them shipping canned salmon to poor families. And you know, where was it? It ain't going to be the poor white ones. It's going to be you and me. Because somebody gets free canned salmon and they go in the supermarket and they see how much that sucker costs, there's going to be people trying to figure out ways to get as many cans as possible and either sell them, give them away to their friends and their family. Oh, I got this salmon. Remember the government cheese? I know that sucker had to be radioactive because everybody got it. My dad showed up with a big old log of government cheese. So it's not going to just stay segregated to the hood rats. You know, the ones that they brainwashed us into thinking, oh, those are the hood, she ratchet. No, just express it because we're full human beings. We have compassion. We have humanity. We wouldn't do this. We wouldn't do this to someone's child. Okay? So As far as this is my response, I suppose, to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm just seeing what not only infant mortality had shown an abnormal rise in the 1950s across the USA, but so had adult mortality at all ages. That would mean Black you and me, since you see the setup right here. But there was no biological mechanism that could relate this to the low doses produced by fallout radiation until after the discovery of PetCow, published in the March 1972. This ain't news, okay? Of health physics under the innocuous title Effect of Na22, that's sodium, on that's my misspelling, phospholipid membrane. He wrote that cell membranes, which could withstand radiation doses as large as tens of thousands of rads, when exposed to a short burst of X-rays without breaking, ruptured at less than 1 rad when subjected to low intensity, protracted radiation, such as that produced by radioactive chemicals. Okay? 1 atom of radiation is going to be putting out every single wave there is, including X-rays. It puts out the equivalent of swallowing a whole X-ray machine and leaving it turned on 24/7. And it's going to be able to get inside your cells. Just one. 1 atom. You can't see 1,000,000 atoms on the head of a pin. You think that's going to be in that Sammy? You think it's going to be in the CMOS? Of course it is. We see the results with all our athletes dropping dead right on the field of athletics or at home, various places. That's never happened before. But everybody wants to just, oh, it's the jab. It's the jab. It's jab. Wow. I need you to show me a picture of all these dudes lined up at the neighborhood clinic. And you'll never find it unless it's AI generated. And then it'll still make you say, I wonder if that's a lace front or if it's the real thing. Okay? Ooh, okay, let's see. I'm not going to read all of them because I have so many, but this is sacred. This is sacred. We must rise above the distractions, the instigations, the setups, so that we could truly love ourselves and do what that demands as sentient beings. I don't care how few views I get. That's not going to take away a morsel of the truth that I've shared. Not a bit. All they can do is just try to hide me. Oh, no, don't listen. I'm sure there's still operatives out there who are just like, oh, that radical sister, she's such a racist. My God. I guess I should read this one. An equally serious danger is the premature birth of infants, sorry, my typing, whose mother's immune system has been damaged, leading to the rejection of the fetus as a foreign object. This biological mechanism explains the delayed action of strontium-90 in the milk as it builds up in the mother's body in the years before pregnancy. Another unanticipated phenomenon only recently recognized. The small ruptures of blood vessels in the brain of babies born below normal weight greatly increase the chances of neurological damage, in addition to the effect of radioactive iodine slowing the normal development of the brain. When we see people acting a fool out here, a lot of that's the radiation, okay? As the author describes in detail, the result is an increased risk of learning disabilities as manifested by a decline in test scores, first reported by Stephen Bell and myself in 1979. It also leads to a greater number of behavioral problems, such as an increased incident of criminal violence, I would say, and Coonan, as discussed by Robert J. Pellegrini in the International Journal of Biosocial Research in 1987. I ain't making none of this up, okay? If you got a problem with me, you got to go and talk to these guys. Dr. Ernest, he dead, okay? Let's see what else I got. Oh, there we go. Do we need a white man to save us? I was just saying. Okay. CMOS gel. And this woman selling it. I'm not mad at her for not knowing. That's our job. Our job, I'm not mad at you either, but our job is to get the warning out as much as possible. I think that's the last one, or maybe there's others. No, this is the map. I colored it so it would look more pleasing to the eye. But this was put together by Woods Hole Oceanographic, whom they're a lying institution. So that means that these numbers are even worse. Okay, run by Ken Buesler. Whoa, what an agent. Let's see. Well, that's just me being funny. All right, I think I said all I need to say right there. Let's get away from that, dude. Where are you? And there you go. And now I can stop sharing. Where is that? Right there. There we go. Okay. All right. Now let's go back over to you. And I don't want to be on this chat because I know. Look at all them beautiful wrenches. I love your wrenches. I love you. And his brother, Yapa. You still hanging the toilet tissue all wrong, brother? No, let's not go there. Let's not. That's old. That's over, right? So good to see you, brother. So good to see you. So let's greet all of you who have come in. I thank you for that. So again, Daryl Eiffel, DA Sound Productions, D Morgan, PD That Remains. Yeah, she was being very sneaky about it, D Morgan, without a doubt. 25,000 Year Cycle, Knowledge Seeker, Sister Gwen B, and Ali Hamid. Greetings to you, brother. Don't mind me. I'm so through with these people. I have a hard time even saying hello because it just sounds like that's where they want us to go. But that's me. Everybody has to choose for themselves. Dr. She started me with that. And once he started sharing all the truth with me, I was like, oh, they are the devil. I'm just saying, I didn't say who is. If you're not the devil, then me calling you one is not going to make you one, okay? There are good white people out there. You're just not our people. It's not meant to be violent. When children leave the home, hallelujah, it doesn't mean that they want to maim and hurt their parents. Most you guys, you having a slew of that sort of thing happening right now. Hope you can work that out. Okay, now I'm just saying. Let's see, Herman Breckenridge. It's good to see you again, brother. And Mr. J. Yes, it is. Ain't it though? Oh my God, it's nasty. And thank you, Sister Gwen B, because I would have just forgot. Because I need to emphasize, go buy our products. Dr. She, he ain't no joke. Some of you have called him to consult with him, and you found out he's no joke. Those of you who haven't called, you got what? You go into these Western doctors, and you can see the setup right there, right? Try somebody who does research because he cares about your actual health and not about his bottom line, the dollar. Okay, we want to make a living, of course, but we're not looking for McMansions. We're not looking for Lamborghinis. That's stupid stuff. I haven't had. I don't want designer anything. Anything. I think it's actually, you look pretty stupid walking around with somebody branding your products or your body, even in my house, at my kitchen sink. I don't even put bottles of the dishwashing liquid. I put it in a little jar myself because I don't want to look at their names, not just anybody's. I'm like, no, this is our house. This is our sacred space. This is my sacred body. So I don't need designer stuff to make me feel as if I'm valuable. I don't need somebody else's hair to make me feel as if I'm beautiful. Even if I was ugly, I would only be around people who found my ugliness attractive because I would find it attractive. Okay, so that's thank you. I need to emphasize. Go to 25000yearcycle.org where we put our best work in the products that we have for you to heal you, to assist you. And we're not trying to keep you dependent on us, except the soap. I hate to tell you, but you're going to have to bathe the rest of your life. Okay, so it'll be a nice, long, loving relationship between me and you. I look forward to it. Go get it started at 25000yearcycle.org. All right. And so that is, oh, you sent me, the issue has been settled. Oh, what you say, Brother Yapo here? I'm profoundly angry that they have the oceans all jacked up because I love seafood. Ain't that something? A lot of people depended on seafood and love seafood. And to think that it is a deadly choice to make. And most people don't even know about it because they keep lying about it. It's not that they just forget to mention it. I've shown all the different documentation that shows they know. This is not an accidental genocide. Oops! Unalived everybody. Oops! No, it's on purpose. That's why Raymond Levine is like, oh, we got to start donating money because Black people care about the environment. They care about being alive. We care about our children. You can't tell me we don't. Right? So I was always treated to seafood dinners for Father's Day and birthdays. Now I can't eat any of it. And brother ain't doing that because he likes me. Okay, I know that's my brother. We're real, as far as I'm concerned. That's my sibling right there. Okay, but he's not doing that for that. It's because of the data. It's because of the proof. He's read the books. He read The Crime of Chernobyl. Right? I'm not making this up, and I'm sorry that everybody's too scared to just, or, people got their own ways of sharing information. But when I look at some of these platforms, especially the health ones, and they just ignore it, I'm just like, wow, that's wild, right? So it makes it seem like it's, like church of me. You'd be the dumbest person on the planet because I am not it. I am not it. I'm just like you. The same research I do, you could do that too. Right? I honor, I respect all of those who you trust and believe me. That is, because of you, I know, don't ever do them people wrong because those are God's people. That's Allah's people, the Most High, Yah's people. You don't do them wrong, not ever. Right? But at the same time, if you have the ability, go to my book list. As a matter of fact, let me share again and then end with the book list. Where? Oh, right. Oh my goodness, I'm always forgetting. Share. Into your screen, and there we go. And I do this repeatedly, so because sometimes you don't want to go back and look for an old video of mine. There it is right there, and I start with number 1. All right, I'm not going to read all these books. I mean, I've read many of these books. I'm saying I'm not going to read this book list because that just would take too much time. But you could pause and get all these names. And you could even ask me, like, what do you think of this one? And I'll tell you, that one I never read. That one I read and is full of crap. And that one is excellent. You could just ask for my recommendation of, which ones I do recommend. I don't want to go through all that right here because I've already been up here long enough. But yeah, there goes the crime of Chernobyl. That was all in secret fallout. Oh my goodness gracious. This is another book I didn't capitalize here for some reason. Romancing the Atom. I haven't read it, but it's just sort of looks like fluff. But you never know. Sometimes in the middle of fluff, they'll just drop a diamond, okay? Restricted Data. This one looks so good. I haven't read that one yet, but whoa. The pet cow effect and plutonium fire. That's the one I don't recommend. I read the whole thing, big old book. It has some interesting stories, but I think it's a deflection so that you don't recognize. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not sharing the screen because I didn't. Let's see. Oh, no, I am. Oh, good. Okay. I thought I wasn't. Yeah, I don't recommend. I think that they have different ways of fooling you. And they're most of them are very, very subtle. The ones that are effective are very, very subtle. And plutonium files is one of them. And this is a new one down here, which is Nuclear Witnesses. Insiders Speak Out by Leslie J. Freeman. I started reading this one, but I got so much to do. I can't go through it right now because I'm writing my own third novel. And that takes priority, even though I had to remake a whole bunch of soaps so that when you put in your order, which you're going to do, right? I have it all together. I was down to my last couple bars. Thank you, dear sister Gwemby, for your order. And I don't want to say the other sister's name, but everybody who's ordered, thank you. And your donations. Thank you. You can go to Cash App, which is $. Which I wish they wouldn't have a $sign up in there. It looks so freaking triflingly materialistic, but it works. $, Radical Sister. R in radical is capitalized, and S in sister is capitalized, okay? And the Radium Girls, that was an excellent one. But let me go back because there's one I forgot to mention. This one right here. This one has the remedies. This is why I can laugh up here. You can laugh too, no matter what the devil's doing, if you can get that radiation out of you, because it's going to be in everything in different levels. Hey, it's in the friggin' deer that they keep saying, oh no, the deer have brain wasting disease. Do you hear them saying the squirrels have brain wasting disease? I was out running the other day. I saw a little bunny rabbit. I was so happy. Oh my goodness. And he kept hopping around going to people's lawns and stuff. Oh, I love wildlife. I love animals and birds. And you hear them talking about that? There's brain wasting disease. No, it's the deer because they're foragers and they're big. So they're taking up a lot. They're eating all day long. They're taking up radiation on a constant basis and they're hunted. They're hunted on a large scale because they span continents, right? It's not like the moose. The moose, you Canadians, you got your moose. You're happy about it. The deer are everywhere. They're down south. They're foragers. So that's why they're telling the hunters, don't eat them. They have brain wasting disease. Stop it. Stop it. They won't. I know. Okay? But yeah, this book right here has the specific ways to get the radiation out. I know there's white anti-nukers who are really just fatalists as far as I'm concerned. I'm not mad at them because I learned the truth by taking in their data and doing the research. In my research, I found, wait a minute. You mean superoxide dismutase? That's what covers the cells. And if you're eating an adequate amount of manganese, that's going to fortify your outer cell wall. And so that the radiation and all the waves and all the rest of it, I don't know how much of it we need studies, but that's what I read also in the pet cow effect. But you ain't going to run into that until you get to the very end of the book. Okay? By the time I read that, I'd already published this. That's why I always repeat it, because I care about you. I love you. Okay. Petkin, apple pectin. I actually, if you go on to Amazon, I found an organic apple pectin powder. They didn't have any, so I wasn't recommending it. But it is the one method of getting radiation out of children that will not interfere with their nutrient absorption. That's something you got to be passing around. Okay? Because everything else that grown-ups can use, we're okay because we don't have, soft growth spurts and little bone pallets that are going to stretch out. So wherever your body needs more nutrition, that's where the radiation is going to go in, especially if you're eating crap. They got everybody eating crap right now. That's why you see so many children dropping dead. Okay, that's a hard sentence to say. So apple pectin, but get the organic. And I'm mad as hell, as if I wasn't already, at Bill Gates for putting, what is they called it, a peel on organic apples and passing it off as if they're organic too. So I highly recommend getting the ugliest, dullest looking apples you could find, have no sheen on them whatsoever, because I would always get Gala apples. And I went into Whole Foods one day and they were looking shiny. And I'd never seen them suckers look shiny before. I went right to the other apples. I can't say which ones because they'll start shining them suckers up too with a peel. So I'm thinking with the appeal is that you can't wash it off. It's inside the apple. And so if you can't get something out, what's it doing when it's coating your own cells? Your nutrition isn't going in. And so the cells are going to grab. That's what I read and learned. In a body lacking nutrition, radiation is going to get absorbed even faster. Okay? So I wonder if that's what Bill Gates is up to with his appeal. Okay? So yeah, you need this book. You need this book. This book, you don't even hear me talking about my other novels, This Black and This Black Nation, even though the first one I know is extraordinary. The second one, but the third one I'm writing right now, I'm making up for all the things I did wrong so that it is thoroughly accessible and absolutely bitingly exciting. I mean, wow. It's the apocalypse, okay? And it's Black love, okay? Ooh. But you could share with your young family kind of Black love, but it's not a children's book. It's not a children's book. Okay? But I don't talk about them that much. This one, this is a rescue. This is a rescue. And I put it all in one place so that the data would be there no matter what happens. Okay? I'm going to be here for my 130th birthday, but after that, the radiation is still going to be going. Okay? Okay? All right. I said all I need to say. Come back over to you, family. Stop sharing. Thank you. And go right back on over here. And thank you so much, Sister Gwen B. Everybody who buys the soap, this is the thing. There may be operatives out there who want to say all kinds of crazy stuff about me. Nobody can say, I scammed you. That you got the soap and it was like about that wide and about this big. Okay? Nobody can say that. Nobody can say, oh, it didn't work. Oh my goodness, I was burned by it. Because it's great soap. Right? And the Silk Hair Cream is great cream. Oh my goodness. And I finally figured out how to keep it so it's stable. And which reminds me, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to check with Dr. Shi because he's my business manager because he's really good at business. And me, I'm like one of those businesses that I would give everything away and then I'd be out of business. And I can't have that. That's dangerous for the job that I'm doing because we need somebody who's going to do this investigation. And so I've got to, I have an overstock of creams. So I'm thinking half of them I'm going to use myself because it's still good. It's still good. It's excellent. It smells amazing. But half of them I might give away as free with the purchase of 3 of the pack, the mix it up pack, or you could, say which soaps you want and you could still get a free one. But I got to check with Dr. She, so I'm not offering that. I'm just saying that might be, incentive coming up shortly. If it's not, I will let you know that you still got to go buy your sister's soap right now. You could do that right now anyway. Sister Gwen had said that it should be about $30. And as long as the inflation keeps putting the cost of the products up, at some point in time, I'm going to have to put the price up in order to keep making some sort of profit. I don't make profit because the shipping is free in the contiguous United States. And so, yeah, that shipping, that costs a bit of money. But in the future, I might have to put the price up to $30. But I thank you, Sister Gwen B, for saying that, because I don't know. I am such a bleeding heart. If there was a way that I could take care of myself and give it away for free, trust and believe, I would. But I wouldn't, because I'm not out of my mind. But I'm just saying that's the type of person that I am. If there was a way that I could do all of this and I don't need you to help me in any regard whatsoever, trust and believe, I would be like, nah, I'm good. Don't worry. I'm good. I need you. I need you. Okay? You're needed. That's a good thing in a society that we love each other. So that's my final point with Sister Jasmine. It's proof. What the hell are you up in Congress for? Oh my God, I'm dying of heat. Okay. Shoulders, there you go. What are you up there for? What do you think you're going to get accomplished? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay? So we got to separate. The reparations, I know everybody's like, cut the check. It's a bribe, right? All you have to do is look at Taiwan and China. China came out trying to get Taiwan to feel a little less scared, saying, oh, it's going to be, one country, 2 systems. Taiwan is China now. They are just as unfree as the Chinese people. So when you have 2 solid objects, only one of them is going to survive in one spot. So whiteism is doing its satanic best to be the winner. But we're winning because look how desperate they are. They got their friggin' hella weird actresses walking around with Coco Chanel bikinis. And even they had to step it back a little bit because it was just too much. But they're pushing the orgies. The orgies, they are going to push that because they need us not to be capable of sane thought. Don't be Lot's wife. Be more like Lot and Jacob. Okay? No matter how many people look like they've lost their minds, that's not going to be an excuse for you when it comes to the moment. And that moment's going to come where you're standing before the Most High. And he's going to want to know what you did. Okay? And I'm not saying I'm perfect. No, I'm not. I'm just saying I got stuff to do myself. But it's about you. All right? All right. Mwah! Yes, Sister Gwen B, I'd rather have a homeland area than a check. Separation. Exactly. Where we are in control of our narrative and our destiny. Okay? Because otherwise, same old racist cop's going to come in and be a whole lot worse than Marjorie. Okay? I'm just saying, I love you. Oh, a passport's a wonderful thing. If you gotta go, $30 a birthday, I love you. But if you gotta go, then you gotta go. I'm like, where you going? I know there'll be a certain rate where, as far as when they'll get there and how, but you gotta choose carefully. Maybe speak to Brother Yapo about that because he's in Costa Rica, and I get the impression there's a good amount of Black folks down in Costa Rica. That's nice. But I'm just saying in terms of, I guess I'm justifying our own choice, which is just, this is our land. This is our land. And I'm staying because I didn't know it was our land. And thereby, yeah, we're supposed to have our own separate nation, period. I gotta go. I love you. Mwah. Straight Black Pride is the first step to our forever. You got to also have that same Black family love so we remain disciplined and affectionately, I don't know what the heck I'm saying. I'm just saying, do the right thing by the Most High. Peace and blessings, everyone. Oh, it made you. Oh, you are so welcome, Sister Gwen. I really appreciate that. That's a good thing. Oh, can I ask you what was the item on the grocery list that you changed? And let's see what you're saying, brother DA son. I always pay importance over land and a house. Exactly, because they got that eminent domain. All right, and brother Yapo, I agree. He's saying last one out, but I'm just waiting to see what item Sister Gwen changed on her grocery list. Where's the rest of me? No, I ain't showing that much because that's not what it's about. But let's just say I be working out. That's for sure. Oh, you took off the ham hocks and yes, good for you, because that radiation, when you eat even a bite of whatever you're eating everything that animal took up radioactively over its entire lifetime. Steak and pork. Ooh, this has been a great live. Thank you. All right. Peace and blessings, everyone. Process me cookies. Oh my God. You took it. You know what? I don't buy any of that stuff. And I feel like with my salad is so varied and so delicious. I feel like I'm eating pizza. And Dr. She makes this amazing. It's like a cheese. It's got a little bit of diet cheese on it. Pizza that he makes with focaccia and olives, and it's amazingly delicious. But the bread, I avoid breads altogether pretty much now. So I prefer my salad sometimes over his pizza. And that brother, I mean, he's the cook in the house. He makes meals that I almost weep because I think to myself, the last bite is coming up. And they're healthy, straight up healthy. But I'm just saying, yeah, you can learn and gradually get to the point where you're you don't miss it. You don't miss it. Your body heals. It's the Most High. He's ever merciful. It's amazing. It's amazing. Hot sauce, cooking wine. Oh my God. Come on, sis. You know that's the saying when someone has noticeably. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, brother. I don't know. I'm an inherent show off. But I don't want to do. You still have Oreos on there. Well, I managed to get to the point where I even have like 2 days in a row where I have no snacks, but I still have snacks. I just moved to having healthy snacks. Maybe I should show you, and then I can get up for a second. It's not that I'm not trying to be skinny or anything like that, but there, okay? I don't know. Okay. I'm not trying to like totally recommend this, but like this is one thing. Bobo's lemon poppy seed oat bar. And unfortunately, it's not organic. That's not good, but it's vegan. But it's non-GMO. That's not enough these days. That means it's filled with pesticides. But I will actually cut it in half and have half of one and not eat the other half. That's an incredible development that I attribute to my daily runs. I don't run every single day, but those runs, that endorphin rush is so powerful that it pretty much lasts the whole day. So once I have my salad, I'm good. I'm like, do I want to have a snack now? No, that's never happened in my life. In my life, I finally have no deep concerns about putting my weight back on because I just know this is me. I'm not forcing myself to lose weight. And I'm not trying to lose anymore because I'm a sister. I don't need to be scrawny. But yeah, I'll eat half of this because this sucker is half a bar is only 170 calories. I mean, it isn't only, but it's 170 calories. And the whole bar then is going to be 340 calories. That's crazy. And I'm like, no, I can't be eating that stuff like that. So you can heal up because I'm a food junkie. You can get better slowly but surely. Oh, for you, corn chips, kryptonite. Yeah. Certain things, I don't even have them in the house anymore because I know if I have cake or if I bake cake, like I make this amazing. Oh, sweet potato pie. If I make that sweet potato pie, I'm going to eat that sweet potato pie. So I don't make it anymore. I haven't baked in so long. It's incredible. Let's see. I can only get them when you go to the States. Ah, well, there you go. Okay. Sugar is hard to kick. That's right. It is one of the hardest addictions there are. It's like crack cocaine. It's like, I do believe I've heard it's one molecule or one chain off from being like cocaine. So it's bad. Yeah, that temptation. Oh my God, is it tough? That's when I hear screaming. I'm like I don't know, like an assassin on my cravings, where I've mapped out. Okay, this is when I feel it the most. My cravings, when I feel it the least, and so I've mapped out. I even put my day on a timer, so that I eat in a certain increment, so that by the time the end of the day happens and I have my last meal, I'm so near the point where there's something clicks in me that where after like 8:30, I can just say, okay, and no more eating. It's the time to eat is over. I could even wake up in the middle of the night and I won't eat because I'm like, no, this isn't the time to eat. And I have that firmly embedded in my psyche. And so I map out my day when I do eat so I don't overeat. Fasting, that's what I think has also helped me tremendously, because you learn, oh, I'm okay. I'm fasting and I don't need to eat. I'm drinking my, our next fast is coming up. I do believe it's this Friday. Hold on. Let me ask Dr. Shi. Is our next fast coming up this Friday? Okay. Yes. Our next fast is this Friday. And so if you want to, it gives you an added strength knowing others are participating. So we start, but Thursday is when you have your last meal. And then Friday you have not just water. We have water. Manuka honey. I put in a tablespoon of Manuka honey and I have a big liter thing of water. And I put in a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, an organic cayenne pepper. Everything should be organic when you're having this. And I put other colloidal minerals in there. I put vitamin C, my liposomal vitamin C in there. And I have teas also throughout the day. And I don't get hungry. It's amazing. So we fast Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday, we'll fast for the beginning of the day till like 2:30, 5 o'clock. And that is the equivalent then of fasting for 3 days, because you count the nighttime when you're also not eating. And that has given me so much strength to do it routinely. And we may miss it sometimes. We may get busy and then we don't do it. But at the same time, first off, it's healing your DNA and that's going to supercharge your melanin. And it just gives you an emotional, spiritual fortitude, especially if you enter it with prayer and you pray at the different times of the day, the morning, the afternoon, the evening. It's changed me so that I'm not the person that I was when I was 25 and 30 years old. And I never thought I would grow beyond that food addicted person. I'm not saying I might not have times of weakness, but I'm just saying it's possible. There's different ways that you could do it. And the exercise is also integral in just building up a fortitude so you become a doer as opposed to somebody whose stuff just, rotten stuff just happened to me. That's not the real you. That's not what our Creator promised. He said he was going to come to bring life and more abundantly. Okay, so that's what I ponder. Sister Ajali, what are you saying, brother? What is the most recent die out you have read about, or are they accelerating too quickly to keep up with? Well, I haven't gone to, let's see, I know I'm not sharing, but let me find the site. There's a site that I would always go to. Nope, that's not the one. It's under nuke sites. There we go. Event notification. There it is. End times. It is the end times prophecy. And I can share now. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. Present. And there. Okay. All right. Where is it? Right there. Earth's final warning, end times. A lot of the sites that would have information are no longer sharing. I think some of them, were very earnest in what they did, but they might have been threatened at some point in time. So this site I would always go to, and they would have so much data and links, but they've slowed down. It could also be, financial reasons, also a number of reasons. So I haven't come here in a while because usually they don't share. I know that with the release of the water from Japan, that there were miles long die-offs of fish. Let's see what this one is. Here we go. Oh, they're doing this paywall thing again. And it's really annoying because I don't like anything that has Microsoft on it. But here's the one I haven't even seen. Mass fish die-off in Vietnam. And this could be real for the heat wave, which is being caused by the radiation, not by some putt-putt cars. But I don't necessarily believe that the water got hot enough to fry all these damn fish. I'm just saying, we need to do studies and tests. I know when it came to Japan that the die-off there, I have pictures somewhere, that had to be that tritium water, which didn't just have tritium in it. And tritium is not some friendly little furry thing that they make it seem as if it's benign and causes no harm. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay, so I guess I could stop sharing now. There we go. Okay, and I can get the heck. Oh, it's Neo Beta Alpha. Shalom, my brother. How you doing? It's good to see you. I'm about to get the heck out of here. How long I've been? Oh my goodness, almost 2 hours. Mwah. I think so, Sister Gwenby. I do, but they are watching. I do believe, because there's a lot of people who come back and say what they're doing and how they're doing it. And I've had moments where I won't say the famous politician who was in the same place with me at the same time, who he was all covered up and, with the mask thing. And he looked at me and he's like, I know you. And I was like, who's that? And I didn't know until later on somebody told me who he was. And I was like, and I realized, oh, he's watching my videos because he's here in Newark. So there we go. All right. Peace. Mwah. Let me get out of here. I got stuff to do and I'm hungry. I'm sweating too. Love you, family. Peace.